Welcome to Moment Talk. I'm your host, Shiso Moore. On episode 19, we're being Fu Shang from Hmong tinduh. In this episode, we talk about courting and how to approach a woman. But first, let's thank our sponsors and let's get right back to the show. Today's sponsor is brought to you by Shiso's Menswear. Are you looking for the latest trendy men's fashion? Look no further. Shiso's Menswear carries handcrafted bow ties, suit accessories, and everyday streetwear. They're your one-stop Hmong-inspired men's shop. You can search them online at www.xixomenswear.com. Now let's get back to the show. Yo, we are super excited to have food on the other side, man. And there's so many foods out there, but in particular, this food is the AKA Hmong tinduh. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going good, man. Life's great. How about you?
Awesome, dude. Awesome. Can you tell the audience or the crowd, the listener, something we don't know about you?
Something you guys don't know about me. I mean, I've resided in 3 cities, actually maybe 4. Well, I was born overseas. I think major thing most people don't know is that I was actually born overseas. I was born in Thailand, and then I was raised in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. I went to college in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Post-grad, went to work in St. Paul, Minnesota. 2 years ago, just moved back to Milwaukee. So I've been all over, man. I mean, in the little Midwest region, at least. You know, Twin Cities, Wisconsin area, yeah.
Cool. What exactly were you born in Thailand?
In Thailand. I think I was born in the refugee camps.
Refugee camps.
Yeah.
You're what, in your late 20s or early 30s?
I'm 30.
You're 30 now, and you're back in Milwaukee.
Yes.
People
still think I'm in Minnesota, so.
I thought you were in Minnesota too.
Yeah.
Now, the topic I want to bring up is about dating, courting, and flirting. Man, you seem like a very talkable guy, and you could easily slide in anybody's DM. Can you help some of these fellas out, man? And let's start with that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I am, but if I was, I probably wouldn't have created Hmong tinduh to help me find a girl. But
well, hold on, let's break into that. Is that why you made Hmong tinduh?
No, I'm just joking. I'm just
okay. All jokes aside,
it was just a joke.
But go ahead.
The whole reason with Hmong tinduh was because I wanted to, like what we're doing right now, help guys, meet girls and make it easier. So yeah, that was that. I'm not gonna talk about that much, but pretty much, I mean, just approaching girls in general, online. I think it's much easier to, especially if they don't know you, you don't know them at all, to like start off with a joke or something, So that's my approach. I usually start off with a joke because even if the girl doesn't know you, or even if she thinks you're kind of like ugly, maybe not attractive, if you can make her laugh, she might reply back, Even if she's not interested, she'll still reply back, whether it be like just with the laughing emoji or like a question mark, or it can creep her out, But any reaction is better than no reaction. That's what I believe, when like DMing a girl,
Do you think pickup line works online?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think they work because they're usually really funny, and they're different. So I think they work. Yeah.
Do you think that these online dating has help or not help guys to be more confident in real life? Because remember, we're behind a phone or we're behind a scene, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like she's in front of us. Is there a big difference there?
I got to be really honest with you on this one because I've actually thought about this a lot. I'm like, how has social media helped guys and girls in, finding their significant other? And I really believe that it's made the better looking people, like the attractive people, very strong. Like it's made them very strong because you don't really have anything to judge them off of other than their pictures,
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, back in the days, you think about when we were young, like 15, 16, you could be the hottest dude or girl out there. But if you don't put yourself out there, because there's no way to meet people unless you actually approach them, right? When we would go clubbing, it'd be like, you could be the hottest dude, but girls generally will not approach you. You have to approach them, you know. So it's like if a dude has no game at all and he's very good looking, he would not beat a guy that was just average or decent looking, but had a lot of confidence and had a lot of game because he would approach the girls, you know. Nowadays, it doesn't work like that. I mean, you could be a very hot dude with no game at all, and all the girls would add you and just send you friend requests and get it, message you because it's easy. You know, it's so easy to just message someone versus approaching them in person. You know, because you get denied, they leave you on scene. It's whatever. You know, you walk it off, move on to the next. Move on to the next girl. But in person, you think about when you get denied. I feel like it's much more brutal. It's much more personal. You know, so yeah, I mean, I think it's made the pretty people, it gives them a huge advantage over the average people, average looking people. But with that, I'm not saying that you don't have a chance at all. If you're just average looking like myself, you still have a good chance, man. I think I still think that it matters a bit, but I do think that social media made it a lot easier for people to approach one another, you know.
Another topic that I'm gonna get into is it's the millennial term. It's cuffing
Mhm.
season. Hmong New Year
Yes.
is here.
Oh
There's
yeah.
no such thing as walking to a woman at the Hmong New Year and swiping left and swiping right.
Yeah, yes.
Now, let's get the real one where we're in face to face. It
Okay.
is Hmong New Year. How would you personally approach a woman that you find attractive at the Hmong New Year?
I usually I'm like as crazy as my seem. The people that know me, they probably think I'm a very confident guy. Um, but I that it's very easy for me to just approach girls, but that's not the case. Like when I see a pretty girl, I get very nervous, just as nervous as anyone else.
What? You get
I
butterflies?
do. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Okay,
No
okay,
one really
okay.
believes that, but I'm like, it's hard to believe, but I rarely approach girls at anywhere. I mean, in person, unless we have some sort of connection, or we have eye contact, you know. Um, but one rule of thumb I always follow is that every time I approach a girl, I always pretend she's taken. That is one way you avoid fights, you avoid arguments, you just avoid beef, or anything in general, um, of that sort. So for me, I always try to look at them, maybe not like stare them down, like some guys are crazy, so they be mean mugging girls, and it gives them the wrong impression. But for me, I just like because when you see a pretty person, or a looking person, you want to look at them, right? So, yeah, I mean, if you catch her looking at you, then obviously she's somewhat attracted to you, or you caught her attention, you know. And same with her, if she catches you looking at her, she's gonna know. Um, and you can usually, I mean, I think most people can kind of sort of tell if someone is giving them a friendly look, or if they're just like, oh, you were just in the way of someone else, looking at somewhere else. But I try to eye them out, see if they're checking me out too. When I approach them, I'm always very cautious. Like I said, I always pretend that they're taken. So I do always say, just like, I always use this. I'm just like, hey, what's up? Like, hi, are you here with anyone? That's my first like thing I always say. Are you here with anyone? If they're with someone, they'll say they're with someone. Oh, I'm with this dude, or I'm with this girl, whatever. Um, and it doesn't come off as you being too aggressive, or anything. Um, and it's not offensive. You know, if they say they're with someone, then I let them go. But if they're interested in you, and even if they're with a guy, if that's not their boyfriend and they're interested in you, they will be like, oh no, I'm not with anyone. I'm just with some friends. You know, and that's kind of like a green light where it's like, hey, you can talk to them a bit more. You can continue the conversation. Um, Never put your hands on them. Some very good looking dudes, I see them do this and it works because they're very good looking. But don't ever just go up to a girl and like tap them on the shoulder, or like put your arm around their waist. It's creepy, like it's one of those things that only works if you're really good looking. If an average guy or just a decent guy did that, it would come off as very creepy, and you might even get slapped for it. I've seen it happen before. But yeah, just for me, my biggest tip is just pretend they're taken. How would you talk to a girl that is taken, and go from there. If she's not taken, you can continue the conversation. And always don't be cheap, guys. Offer a drink. Like, don't be cheap. Girls hate cheap dudes. offer a drink. Like even if she's not feeling you at first, if you buy her a drink, she might be feeling you afterwards. Like I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes, a couple shots open people up more, and they will be more open minded and willing to speak to you, or give you a chance.
that leads to the next discussion is like, okay, so we're not at the New Year anymore. We're at a bar. So it's not a club, so it's a little bit different. We're at a bar. How would you approach that woman then?
Oh yeah, yeah, the bar. I mean, my bad. My previous answer was to more like a nightlife scene, but even with a bar, it's all the same. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't matter where I'm at,
Okay.
whether I'm at the Hmong New Year bar or club. I still have the same mindset where any girl I approach, I have to approach them in a way where I think they're taken, where I don't come off as offensive, and I make sure they know. I make sure that the girls know that when I'm approaching them, they know that I'm approaching them. Like this isn't like I told one of my guys, like this isn't the savannah, of Africa. Do not be creeping on her like, you're not a lion. She's not a freaking
Piece of
gazelle.
meat.
You don't need
Yeah.
to. Yeah, don't spook her. Once you spook her, she's gone. So go walk up to her, with her knowing that you're coming. Don't just show up behind her or like pop up. Yeah, I mean, especially at places like bars where the lights are turned on, it's not dark like a club. You know, make sure she knows you're coming, and yeah, just be very polite, be a gentleman, offer her a drink. If she says no, don't force it on her. Drinks aren't cheap anyways. I don't know why people try to force people to drink. Just offer it. Just be a gentleman. I think most dudes just come off as creepy because either they're coming off too strong or they don't ask the right questions.
What's like define coming on too strong?
Well, I've had dudes that like I've had to wingman some of my friends and acquaintances where it's like we'll approach a group of girls and they won't even ask them like who they're with or if they're single, if they're taken. They're just like, hey, what's up? What's your name? And they go straight to, by the way, we're partying. We have a Airbnb. We're partying after the party after this, and you guys are all welcome. Y'all should come join us. Could we get your numbers? That's way too strong. I never asked for anyone's numbers. I actually never asked for anyone's number. Current time. Like right now, you shouldn't because there's social media. Asking for like someone's Facebook, someone's IG, someone's Snap is so less creepy, so less personal. You know, um, yeah. So start off with that. If you can't get their IG, their Snap, or their Facebook, you have no chance of getting their number. So
Quick question now. When a girl gives her Facebook or Snapchat, her social media connections, do you feel that is a polite rejection rather than her number?
to be honest, I think it really depends. Sometimes it is, but you got to understand that right now, I mean, if I was to put myself in a girl's position, if I gave someone's any way of um, form of a way to contact me, I think it's me saying, hey, at least I'm not creeped out by you. Maybe, not to the extent where I don't want to hear from you ever again. So I don't think it's a polite rejection. I think it's another way of them. Maybe they just want to be cautious. Maybe there's someone they've been hurt, or they've had stalkers, creepers, people, unlike Snapchat or Twitter, if you get someone's phone number, it's much easier for them to just spread it to random dudes, and then it's hard to block everyone, because you don't know who's calling you. They can be calling from 10 different numbers versus a social media account like Facebook. I can just block your Facebook, and not accept any other strangers. It's easier for them, and it's, there's not much at risk, I think. So I don't take it like that. I don't.
Okay. Okay. No, let's go into like the clubbing scene and again approaching women. This time the music is pounding. You could barely hear each other talk. How close are you really approaching this girl now? Because I could barely hear her talk. Music's just pounding. Should we just slightly, grab her by the elbow, or should we say, "Hey, let's go grab a drink"? How should I approach this woman?
Okay, the club scene. Yeah, the
Yep.
club scene is a little bit different.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm a little bit different. Like I'm a little bit awkward, I guess, because I've actually never like remember me telling you that I might speak like I'm very confident and stuff, but I'm not. Like in the clubbing scene, I've never gone up and just like started grinding on a girl. Like that's not me. I think that if you meet like the girl a girl that's not like into that, where they're like much more
Hold
reserved.
up. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah,
So like, hold
yeah,
up.
and
Say that.
they
Say that a little bit louder for the guys creeping and listeners in the back. Say that
okay for the
again.
guys in
Don't
the
do
back.
not do what?
I never just creep up on a girl and just slide in and grind with them, no matter how hot or how like whatever, how crazy they're doing their stuff. I never do that because I think it really throws them off, especially if they turn around. I've heard so many bad stories from girls because I have a lot of girls who are just my homies, and they'll tell me stories the following day after a night out of clubbing, like, yo, like we're just bumping and grinding, and this dude just creeps up and slides right in, and they never forget those dudes. Like they get spooked out where they remembered how the guys look like, and I don't want any girl to every time they see me on the street be like, yo, that's the guy that was, that creeped
That's
up on
the
us,
dude.
Yeah, and it's very bad, from your image. So I
All
never
right.
do that.
Yeah, but go
Um,
ahead about the nightlife and clubbing this time.
yeah, like in the clubbing scene, like you said, it's very loud and it's hectic, especially on the dance floor. It's very hectic. People bumping and booty popping, grinding everywhere. It's tight, you're bumping shoulder to shoulder. But before I would approach a girl, I'd probably just go and just stand and like just stand by them. If they're like dancing, I just like I'd be walking, and then if I see a good looking girl, I would slow down, and I'd slow down my pace, and I would look at them, I would eye them, make sure they know that like, yo, I'm checking them out, like, yo, I think these girls are cute or they're crazy or they're wild, whatever it is, but I want them to know that they got my attention, and then and see if they give me any eye contact. Because the club is definitely a much easier place to approach women. Why? Because most people are drunk or have had a lot of drinks, um, and people there are usually more than likely single, versus a bar or like the Hmong New Year. You don't really know. You don't really know. But the clubbing scene it's more like a singles place. Not saying everyone there is single, but or taking people can't be there, but um, it's just more than likely that you'll meet single person people than versus taking people. So yes, I mean I just make sure they know that they got my attention, and then I would approach them the same way I would approach anyone in a bar or the Hmong New Year. I'd walk face to face with them. I wouldn't be like creeping behind them. I wouldn't put my arms around them at all. I would, like maybe tap them on the shoulder if they're dancing still, and like their, head is bobbling back and forth everywhere, and they're not really focused on anything, But I make sure that I don't spook them out at all. And then, obviously in the club, I always offer the girls a drink. Like, hey, or I talk to them like, hey, where are you from? Are you guys here with anyone? Same conversations. And usually if the girl's feeling you in the club, it's not like a bar or the Hmong New Year. In the club, if they think you're cute, like they would just start. Sometimes they'll just dance with you. Like honestly, girls will never do that at a bar or the Hmong New Year. But at the club, like sometimes I don't even have to say anything. Like sometimes I'll just look at her and I'll if she thinks I'm cute, she thinks I'm attractive, she'll just walk up to me and start dancing with me, or I'll just be like, hey, what's your name, and then she'll just start dancing with me, other times if she's much more reserved, um, I'll be like, hey, we'll have a conversation, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, if you're free, or later when you're free, we should have a drink. And sometimes she'll just, most of the times, if she likes you, she'll just be like, yeah, we can go right now, like, sure, let's go, or she'll be like, oh yeah, in a bit, like come back in like 5 or 10 minutes, and then you do. But
Cool.
if she doesn't like you,
Now with the Hmong New Year, the clubbing, the bar. Let's break down on one thing here or a few things here. Uh, that's you're a decent guy. You're a good looking guy. You're not the greatest looking guy. Does your own hygiene and looks matters, man? Like the way you dress. I'm saying, like you gotta be dressed to the nine,
oh
or
yeah,
you're gonna show like
oh
flip
yeah,
flops and okay. So
oh
fellas,
yeah,
like, do
dude,
you
it
hear
matters.
that?
It matters a lot, dude. Especially the way you smell. Like, I want to stress that. Like, yo, like, buy some gum, um, or like just put on some cologne, man. Like, it matters a lot. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, even from a guy's point of view, like me, I've like met some really pretty girls who have bad breath, or they don't smell. They have bad odor, and it automatically just turns me off, and I'm just like, yo, not gonna work out. So I can only imagine girls, like especially dudes, like we're guys, we're not as much on, you know, on the top of our game when it comes to hygiene and stuff, or just how we dress. But it matters a lot. I can say that I think if you're, especially when you're talking to girls, like most of these environments are loud, and you're speaking really close to them. So if you smell bad or if your breath stinks, it's gonna be very obvious. So yes, most definitely always eat chew gum or breath mints, whatever, because we've all been drinking. So yeah, it matters a lot.
So you hear that, fellas? I mean, you got to be dressed to the nine at the club scene, or especially at the New Year. Uh, Smell nice, smile. You look fantastic. Like I say, it applies to even if you're not looking guy, a good looking guy, or an average looking dude. It doesn't matter. If you could just have those, that's one part of it already. So it's the appearance, and the way you look. So now let's just say let's you look good, you smell good, you either at the Hmong New Year, you get the girl's number or her social media contacts. How would I even try to ask her on the first date? Or is that coming too strong? Is, hey, let's go on a date, or versus, hey, let's grab drinks, or hey, let's grab coffee? How would you go about that?
It really depends on how our first impression of one another was, and our first encounter. So, if we had a long talk, let's say like we had a long talk I met a girl at the Hmong New Year, and we talked and we ball tossed for like a while, and then like after that, like I think you can kind of like sense the vibe where, oh, she's feeling me. Um, and like I guess it really depends on your time frame, because sometimes a lot of these Hmong New Years, we're going out of town. So when I'm out of town, I'm like, yo, I want to like, if I could tell she's feeling me, then I would offer right away. Like I'd message her and then be like, hey, yeah, we should hang out again. Let's go on a date, or let's have lunch, or do something. But it really just depends on our first encounter, how the vibes she was giving off. If it was a really brief encounter where it's just like, hey, I said what's up, she said what's up, social media contact, she was busy, then I wouldn't do it. I'd be much more cautious, and I'd take my time to get to know her, at least see if she's feeling me. But if we were, or let's say we were at the club and she was bumping and grinding on me, and we had drinks, then yeah, it'd be very easy for me to just be like, hey, let's go out right away, or let's go have lunch or do something. But it really depends on the encounter. Yeah, sometimes it's, you can ask her on a date right away. Sometimes you shouldn't, because you haven't had the chance to get to know her. She hasn't given you that vibe where she's, she likes you. She's willing to get to know you more, so it just all depends.
Okay. So kind of slightly depends on the situation, right? Some are slow roll, some are more like just get right on it, but still being very humble about that and getting to know her, because we don't know her situation, and also it depends on how you guys ended the conversation.
Yes. Yes.
These dates, would you recommend like something more lay low, like coffee or drinks, or you're more, let's say, spontaneous, like, hey, your first meetup is like, let's go snowboarding or like ice skating? Is that, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Is that's very active, that's a very active, that's a very active date, or first meetup versus just getting coffee.
Yes, like I feel like that's something you would have to get to know someone. I feel like the first date would have to be something that they're very comfortable with. Something that anyone and everyone would be comfortable with. You don't want to take a girl or ask a girl that you don't even know, like, to go snowboarding. What if she sucks and she makes a fool of herself? What if she goes and she falls and she breaks her arm? Then you're never gonna see her again. So you want to take it on something safe. I always like do lunch. I always like be like, oh, let's have lunch or dinners. Somewhere where like she feels like there's people around where she could scream for help, or like, yeah, somewhere where there's people, and it's a friendly environment. Or you could always ask them to go to, if this girl likes to drink, or if you met her at a bar or club, it doesn't hurt to be like, hey, are you gonna go out, meet up at, like, let's say like Checker Bar, or if you're in St. Paul, be like, hey, like, if you're going to Checker Bar Thursday, we should meet up, honestly. Or if you're in Wisconsin, you're in Milwaukee, go to Victor's. You're in, Sacramento, go to Mango's. You're in Fresno, go to Swish. Just be like, hey, if you're going out,
man, all the hot spot.
Yeah, or, just be like, yeah, if you're going out, you're going out. Are you going out next week? If you are, we should meet up. See, because then she could go with her friends. She's not feeling like, oh, if she meets up with you, it's just you and her, where she's
Okay.
stuck with you.
All right.
She
So
can be, oh yeah, I'll bring
now,
my friends and we can
all
all,
right.
my friends meet your friends and we can meet up. Yeah.
All right. So where's the point of, dude? You should stop. Like, she's not interested. When should we
Yo,
stop? Is it like the first time we ask, the second time? Is it the fifth, the 10th time? When is the point? Like, bro, she's not interested. When do you know? What do you know?
it, very easy, very simple. If a girl likes you, she will make time for you. Just like if you like a girl, you make time for her. But some girls, they do like to play hard to get. But I'm like, no one plays so hard to get where they're gonna leave you on scene for like days. Okay, so I mean, and I know that on Facebook, Facebook Messenger or whatever, like you know when someone is updating their status or their story, same with IG or Snap, like you see them updating that stuff, and if they're not replying to you for days, then chances are they're not into you. Sometimes people are really busy, but even busy people, like if they're feeling you somewhat, they would still reply to you on a daily basis. Not saying they're gonna reply to you every like, minute or every hour. Everyone, especially more grown folks, they're busy, they have jobs and stuff, but they will still reply to you, If they leave you on scene, then they probably 99% of the time don't like you or are not, aren't willing to give you a chance.
And
Um,
that's after the second or third attempt, and just
if a girl leaves me on
scene. Yeah.
scene, once might be an accident. Sometimes they might just accidentally slip through. But if they leave me on scene, I would do like the 3-strike rule. Like if they leave me on scene on what first, then I'd wait a bit. I'd message them again. Maybe no, not 3 strikes, 2. I'd message them again, and if they leave me on scene again, just 2, not 3, 2. Then I'd stop. But the 3-strike rule is where if I message them and they're active, right? They're active and they don't reply to me for like a day. Then I message them and then they reply to me like 2-3 days later, right? I message them again, they reply to me. They're active, updating their status. Then they reply to me another 2 days or a day later. After like the second or third time of them doing that, then it's just like, oh, they're just trying to be nice. They're giving you pity replies. So yeah, I would stop. You know, yeah, but I think
You
some of these.
you you and I would both agree that if you hang out with lady friends or you have friends, their phone is glued to their hand. So you're
Exactly.
right. Exactly right. So how much often they check their phone. And let's say if you slide into your DM once, 2, 3 times, they're not interested. You can see it. You can sense it. Every girl's phone is always on their hand, and you're right. They'll be active on social media and such. So for the fellas, like according to you, 3 times, bro, just stop. Just stop.
Yeah, it's tough to take in, but you
Yeah,
gotta do
it's
it. You
tough to
gotta move
take
on.
in. Move
Yeah,
on.
you gotta move on. Yeah.
So another rule that you follow by it's a 3-strike rule. It's just like, okay, let's move on. 3's done. Yeah, on to the next girl. Yeah, and done again. Don't feel any guilt for this girl if she don't like you, man. She's just not interested. So
Oh, and
some
I want
guys feels
another.
bitter.
Oh yeah, yeah. I want to point out another point is that you don't know what the girl's going through. She might be talking to someone. First off, she might be talking to someone. Like this has happened before, where like we don't know because when you're talking to someone, you're not really out there. You don't really put yourselves out there. It's low key. It's on the DL. So yeah, she might be single, but she might be talking to someone. So the reason why she might be ignoring you or leaving you, or giving you like long ass, late ass replies is because she's currently talking with someone and trying to work something out. So by you not being overly creepy, by you not like spam messaging her, if she and that dude doesn't work out, she'll randomly message you like, "Yo, what's up? How you been?" And that's probably because she and the guy she was talking to didn't work out. So it gives you another chance at her. Don't be
Wait, so how
don't
do you
be too.
know? Wait. So how do you know if you're the rebound then? Now, see,
Well, I mean
in
that's.
in this particular situation.
I'll be honest with you. Being a rebound is better than being a nobody. Okay, because
Okay.
rebound, a lot of people like can fall in love with their rebounds. Can they not? They do. They do. It happens, right? Sometimes you go into a relationship thinking like, hey, this dude is a jerk, a douchebag. I'm gonna give this guy a chance. you know, because I'm still feeling down, and he treats me well, right? A lot of times, I'm not gonna lie, more than people think. All right, relationships start more than often because of rebounds. All right, no one's gonna admit it. I'm not gonna be like, yo, I was completely over my ex, you know, that's what, and then, you know, I started talking to this girl. No, a lot of times it's like, obviously, you know, especially if it's like a long relationship, you still have feelings over your ex, you know, and then you're talking to someone new, you know. I mean, that's, I don't care what anyone says. I mean, if you still have feelings for your ex, or if you still um, have contact with them, you know, and you're talking to someone else, that dude or that girl is more than likely a rebound, whether you want to admit it or not. You know, it is. You know, it's the same thing. It's just that, like, you know, no one wants to admit it because it looks really bad for both people. You know, like for the rebounder and the person, you know, using them. You know, so like I said before, with what I said before with the joke as icebreaker on when I DM someone, it's better to have a reaction than no reaction at all. It's better to be noticed than to just be forgotten. Okay. The girls that hit my line, that give, like, the girls that hit me up, right? If ever I go back and I'm like, hey, you know what? I want to give her a chance now. I know that she tried, right? Versus the girls that never, you know, hit me up. How am I gonna know? You know. So it's easier. Like I said, it's just good to be noticed, man. Like, yeah, you're a rebound. You start out as a rebound, but you're gonna tell me that no rebound ever made it? Plenty of them made it, dude. A lot of
Okay.
them have made
Okay.
it. You know. Yeah.
Now, give me your definition. Let's say you are single. You have numbers or you have social media contacts. Give me your definition of multi dating.
Multi dating, like a player? Is that what you're trying to say?
I won't say player. There's a definition to a player, and there's a definition to I'm just talking to this one girl, and I'm talking to another girl, and I'm talking to
Okay.
another girl. Remember, I'm not multi-doing. Let me say it
Oh,
louder.
dude.
I'm not multi-doing. I'm just multi-dating. So I know this girl, I know this
And you're
girl,
still
because
single.
the goal is to court one girl.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Okay.
That's what I meant by multi-dating, or some call it casual dating. What's your
So just
definition of
talking
that?
about just talking to multiple girls, and you're not in a relationship with anyone, pretty much.
Correct.
Yeah. What I mean, what's your question about that? Like,
What's your definition? Is that multi-dating? Is that casual dating? Is that player?
um,
Is that definition of player? You tell me.
man, I think I don't know. I feel like the definition of a player has evolved in time. Um, like, it used to be, you can't be a player unless you're in a relationship, or well, or like you're strongly leading many girls on. Okay. And I think a player is someone that strongly leads many girls on. Um, I think, like, if I was like sleeping with multiple women, telling them I love them, or I like, yeah, or like telling multiple girls that you like them, you know, or like, hey, calling them babe and stuff, you know. Yeah, if you're calling like 4 girls babe on a daily basis, then I think you're a player. Okay. Um, but I think there's nothing wrong with talking to 3 4 girls at the same time. If you're not in a relationship, you're not calling anyone like lovey-dovey names.
Right, there's no status to this. No
Yeah.
title. No title. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not like sleeping over at their houses, you know. And when you go out, like, let's say if you and you're not a player if you're not afraid to be in public with these girls and still approach other girls. You get what I'm saying? It's like, if I'm talking to 3 girls, right? But if all 3 of these girls are at the same venue and I'm still able to talk to all 3 of them, then it shows that, hey, I'm not leading any of them on strong enough where they're gonna get mad at me, you know. But you don't need to be dating someone to be a player, I guess. I guess that's what, like, um modern day definition of a player is now. You know, it's like, you don't need to be dating anyone, you know, you can just be like leading everyone on very strongly. And if you were out in public with her, if she feels like you're obligated to stand be with her, you know, like you can't be going around talking to girls, then chances are you're leading this girl on way too strong, you know. And then that's when you become a douchebag and a jerk and a player, and you get blasted on social media. But if, like, you know, if you keep it on a friendly terms where it's like, hey, I kind of like you, you kind of like me, I don't know if you're the one, you know, I still talk to multiple girls, and I still, you know, I'm still like keeping my options open. then that is, I guess, what I'd say, like multiple dating versus being like a player. You know, like you're just still putting yourself out there, having an open mindset, still giving everyone a chance. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I really don't. But I feel like sometimes, like nowadays, it's getting more and more. You know, people are just more and more against just talking to multiple partners. You know, whether it be just friendly or whatever it is. I think it's getting a little bit more strict on what the definition of a player is. Like, it's getting easier for people to be called players. I feel like, especially with social media, because you could be met versus back then. It's hard to talk on the phone with 5 girls a day. It's tough,
The struggle was real,
right?
dude.
Yeah, like
Struggle
especially when
was
you can only
real.
talk to them after 9 p.m. Right? That's when you get 3 minutes, right?
You and I are
like,
well in age to know about the struggle,
yeah.
yo.
So I mean, back then it was hard to be a player. Like, dude, I ain't got the move to talk to you. But nowadays, you think about it, dude. Nowadays, you can message. Like, I could send a message on my phone to 5 different girls, and they send separately. I could say good morning and be 5 different girls, and they'd get it all separately. They'd all feel special, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, of course, it makes it so much easier for guys to just, or girls, just to just be a player. So the game has changed a lot, and I keep telling people, like, you have to evolve with the game, because if you're still living in the early 2000s versus the late 90s, right now it's a whole different era, man.
Oh
And
man, that's you and I are in the era of we're still the old school romantic, and it's like
oh yeah,
the new age hookups, man. How do you feel? How do guys like us fit in, man? We're kind of stuck right in the middle where it's like Tinder. What? You swipe left, it's left, right, and then now, you know what I'm saying? And then let's go to old
yeah,
school. Old school is like you go to the Hmong mirror and you get a pen and paper, right? And you write her name and number on. And that's how you get to talk to her. But you know what's gonna happen when you call her? Her mom's gonna pick up and say, "Me mai ba nyo," and he's like, "No, that's you, me mai na." Click, dude. The struggle
yeah,
was real, right? It was back then,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
real, yo.
Oh yeah. That's yeah.
So
I
how
mean,
do you fall on
it's
this?
just.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like going to school, man. It's just like going to school. You gotta study. Like if you're taken, okay, like, or if you're a graduate, right? You're not gonna be studying no more because you're done. If you're married, you're done. You're not gonna be studying the game no more. But if you're single, right, you still need to go to school, bro. Like, you still gotta go to school, and going to school means paying attention to social medias, like people like on social media, like, or watching the news, watching people, or just observing single people. The other day, one of my friends, he asked me, he's like, "Yo, what does IF blah 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 stand for?" He didn't know. I'm like, it means, if stands for, the acronym stands for, if you know, you know. And he didn't know that. Or he was like, "Yo, I have so many guys," because I'm 30, so I know like older guys and I know younger guys. But the older guys, they'd always be asking questions like, "What is like an ABG?" That's an Asian baby girl. Like they don't know any of these things. And I'm like, y'all gotta go and do some research, man. Like, talk to some younger people. Talk to younger people, or
yeah.
just talk to people in general.
Our age of dating is definitely
Yeah.
old school, man. For real though. Let's talk about some old school dating, like our age. Yo,
Yeah.
like, you ever write a letter to your girl you like?
No, I never
Oh
have, actually.
man,
Not on hand. Not on hand.
I've done
Like,
it. I still write letters to
really?
girls. Yeah, I'm old school,
That's
dude.
romantic.
Yeah, so just for a tip for the guys out there, man, like, dude, you think you're gonna hit her on a DM? Wait till you write her a letter. The address is not to creep her out. The address is to write her a handwritten letter. Dude, she's gonna be like, that's one thing that she's gonna be like, wait, who wrote this letter? And she's for sure gonna get some curious, like, who wrote this letter? Like, it's handwritten and he took the
I believe
time.
that. Yeah.
So I've written hand letters before. You know what I'm saying? If I'm interested in this girl, I still write her a letter once in a while, like, just to say, hey, what's up?
Wow.
Old school snail mail, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's real, it's deep, but yo, the girl's just like, man, who wrote you a letter, So the old school dating, yeah.
Like, especially, like, I think a girl would like appreciate that so much more, and it shows a lot more about like you, like, oh, this guy is not dumb because he has good grammar, he has spelling, no spelling errors. Versus right now,
I beg the differ, but hey, he took the effort.
yeah, but you know what I'm saying, though, right? Like, versus dudes who can't even spell or anything, and they just type in it. You got the, right now you can spell check just fixes everything for you, so everyone's like a genius. when it comes to writing stuff, typing it.
Who knows? Food might take my advice and write a letter to a girl he likes.
Yes, I might. That sounds awesome, dude. That sounds like a good idea.
Yes, yep. I'm still old school where I still give flowers to girls, man.
Damn.
Yeah,
I've had so
do.
many girls, bro. Like, you'd be surprised. I've had so many girls be like, yo, don't buy any flowers. I don't like them. Or like, they're just a waste of money. It's
Really?
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. There's so
Okay.
many girls.
If so, what would they like then?
Money? I don't know. I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. I mean, I guess girls nowadays, food is really big. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but we didn't grow up with girls asking for food. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, when we were in our like teens, like 16, 17, you never hear a girl say, oh, take, like, yo, feed me, blah, blah. Like, that was not, everyone's like a food critic now, so it's like, man, everyone wants to try different things, different foods. But like I said, when we were growing up, you never, man, I know that we were way hungrier than these kids nowadays. We were so much more broke. We were so much more broke than the kids nowadays. Our parents, our first generation Hmong people that came here, like, so I'm like, yo, we were way more hungry back then, but I never heard girls asking for food, versus now it's like, yo, instead of like, sometimes it's like, hey, a girl won't reply to you, but you're like, you send her some food, like, hey, I'll buy you food, or I'll
right out, right?
Yeah, right, yeah, like, I'll get you food, I'll get some food shipped to you, like, dude, they'll talk to you. It's weird, but the game has changed.
And it's funny how we.
Yeah, DoorDashing girls' food is big right now. Like, girls.
Yeah, DoorDashing girls, man.
Delivering some damn food, dude. Like, it works more than you think, dude. And even if she doesn't like you, she's still gonna reply to you because she wants the food. Okay. And
all right, so we're gonna get it on a little quick here. So what's that statistic shows that 30% of women, they know they're good looking too. They purposely use men just to get food to eat.
Yeah.
The statistic shows that too, lately. So that means out of 10 girls, there's 3 women purposely use a man for just to eat.
Yeah, I believe that.
Because then they're good looking. Is that true or not?
Yeah, I believe that, of course.
So how do you know guys like us is gonna get scammed, dude? How do you know?
Man, that's the thing. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't matter how good you are. There's always someone out there who's been better than you. Like how good you read girls. Like, me or anyone. Yeah. I mean, we've all gotten played, used for food, but the way I think of it, it's like, don't lose sleep over things you can't control. You can't control what these girls are thinking, okay? Or like, you're not gonna know everything that every girl is thinking. So what you do, like for me, I'm like, okay, if I'm single, chances are some of these girls are gonna use me for food. All right. I go in there knowing that every time you approach a girl, it's a gamble. It's like going to the casino. All right. You gotta be ready. You don't bring money to the casino that you're not ready to lose, right? So when you meet a girl, you have to already know that I'm gonna lose some money regardless whether this works out or not, and you gotta pay to play. That's it. So how do you?
I found a solution to this.
You found a solution to making sure that girls are not using it for money.
Yeah. Just eat. Just eat.
What's your full proof?
My full proof is like, and this real story. I'm like, hey, I'm building a business too. I'm on a tight budget to build my business. But what I could do is, you could come over to my place and I will cook you something. And I've done it. So I make some tacos, some good tacos, because I know how to make pad thai, make tacos. So now she's not only in your place, in your kitchen, but you are doing the initiative though. See, because you thought of her like, hey, let me cook something for you.
But I'll be honest with you though.
That ever worked for you? That worked for me, dude.
No, I mean, it'll work at times, but I feel like sometimes that'll come off as creepy.
Yes, that could. It depends on which girl. You're right.
Yeah, because you think about it, like asking a girl to come over to your place alone anytime can be too strong.
I would agree.
Remember I told you that being in an open environment like a restaurant or a bar, there's people around you. She doesn't feel like you would violate her out there. Versus being in a bedroom, like, well, or like not bedroom, but like in your place or your apartment or your house, and it's just you and her. Anything can happen, and if she needed help, she wouldn't be able to get it. So to me, I feel like even if a girl likes me or feels really strongly about me, that's something where it's like, oh, like some girls might take it the wrong way, where it's like, oh man, this is creepy. Why does he want me over to his house? Alone. You know.
I would
So
agree. I
like,
would see where I could see on the other side too, where she's coming from too.
yeah, it depends on the situation. Though.
This depends on the situation. Every girl too. Some girls like that's so creepy. Some girls like, oh my god, a homemade meal. It's again, it is
Exactly.
different. It's different from every girl.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah, like pretty much what I've been saying was just like my approach is the most uncreepy approach that I can think of. That's
conservative.
all yeah, very conservative. Yeah, very conservative.
Oh, friend zone, man.
Friend zone.
Yeah. So let's get into that. How do you get out of the friend zone, bro?
Man, that's I'll be honest with you. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't. Um, my biggest, most valuable tip to anyone that's in the friend zone is to just be their friend. That's it. Like, um, don't don't try to force it. Don't be like trying to get out. Um, if she's single. Then I mean, you could make a move here and there, but if she doesn't, if she's not feeling it, then just don't force it. But just be a friend, because maybe she's just not. Maybe she's going through some hard times. Maybe she's not feeling you. You're like guys like you right now. Sometimes a girl needs to get her heart broken by like 5 douchebags before she wants a nice guy. That's the honest truth, man. That is the honest truth. So if you really like this girl, just be her friend. Just be there for her. One of these you don't know after she gets her heart broken by like that dude or whoever she's with, maybe she will give you a chance. But my biggest tip is just stay friends, man. You never know what's gonna happen. But one thing that go on too strong and you start confessing your love, like man, these guys are crazy. Like I'm not gonna lie, I know I've heard so many stories where like the girl thinks that they're good friends. She trusts him with everything, and the guy just goes crazy, starts confessing his love for her, like and he like flips out on her, gets mad at her. Like, dude, that's no girl likes a guy that is insecure. All right. Yeah, you can't be desperate, dude. And you can't be insecure. So just be like, if she likes you as a friend, just be a friend. Just wait it out. Um, you know, she might give you a chance later on, and if she doesn't, so what? You still have her as a friend.
Okay.
But one thing you should never do, you should never
Go.
try to fight out of it. Like, not strongly, at least. Not aggressively, at least.
Okay, that leads me to: can guys and girls be just friends?
Of course, most definitely. But I do want to say this though. They can be just friends most of the time if they're both like put it this. A really good looking girl and a really good looking guy can be this I don't know, man. This is just my personal opinion. I feel like if you're both on the same level of physical beauty or attraction, then you can stay friends. It's like if you're a really good looking girl, you're a good looking dude, you guys can be friends. Because you both know your worth. But then if you have someone that's like, if you have a really hot girl, right, and if she's friends with a guy that's not good looking at all, then I feel like the guy is just there waiting to, like he's in the friend zone. I feel like, but I feel like he is taking, like he's doing what I'm saying. He's like he's being patient, Or if you have a guy that's a total stud, right? This guy's like a total stud, and then he's friends with this girl who's just not good looking at all. Then I might feel like maybe that girl likes him more as a friend, but she's just waiting for her chance, like waiting for her turn. You know, she's just friend zone and she knows it. She's just being patient about it. But I mean, that's just what I think. Like,
Okay.
that's just my opinion. But I do think it's possible. With everything into consideration, I do think it's possible. Like, I have friends, girls who are just my friends. A lot of them actually. Um, you know, and that's just what we are. We're just friends. Like we don't talk on like a daily basis. We don't call each other up every day, but on the weekends, yo, what are you doing? Like, come over, yeah, kick it. Like, yeah, that it's very doable. Not best
You
friends.
you mentioned looks. One thing I'm gonna mention is personality, man. What's bigger, looks or
Personality.
personality?
I
This
think that
applies for
like
both men and women.
I think it depends. They're both equally as important. Okay, because looks, attraction, physical attraction is what gives you like what pushes you to. First off, we're guys, right? We approach girls not by their personality
We're
because you don't know
visual.
their personality.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
visual
visual.
creatures.
So if I'm not physically attracted to a girl, I might never approach her, which means I might never get to know her. You know, so of course looks matter. No matter what anyone says, looks matter a lot. Um, if I'm not attracted to you, when you talk to me, I'm probably like not even gonna listen to you or give you a chance. You know, I'm not gonna have an open mindset. You know, um, so it's like, but looks get you there, but personality is what makes you stay there. And you know that I've experienced it a lot where I've met some of these girls. They're like the most beautiful girls I've ever seen. I'm like, yo, this girl would never give me a chance, you know. And then once I get to know them, I'm like, I don't like this girl at all, you know, like she's not who I thought she was. Not saying that she was like a bad person, you know, but her personality was just not what I expected it to be, you know, and just didn't attract me. And automatically, I just saw them as a friend, you know, and I couldn't like them anymore, you know. So I think they're both equally as important. Looks draw you to someone, you know, give you the chance to actually give them a chance. All right. And then their personality is what makes you fall in love with them or not. So personality makes you love them, looks makes you attracted to them, and gives you, you know, the opportunity to be with them, pretty much. So both are
For
equally.
this is my take on the single guys. Let's say he's not on the very good looking side, but he has a great personality. Some woman will fall for that. And you and I
Oh
have
yeah.
seen, very good looking women, but the dude is just like, tamada. You're like, what? How does that happen? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 No, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that there's no chance for guys or girls who are not good looking. I'm saying you just have to be your approach has to be different, you know, like you can't. It's not like when you're a really good looking person where you can go talk to a girl and she'll just right away, you know, talk to you, give you a chance. You might have to start out as friends first. You know, if you have a good personality, be friends with them. Like, don't approach them in a way where you're like, hey, I'm trying to get with you, you know, and stuff. Just be like, hey, you know, like, I want to be your friend, you know, and go from there. Because I mean, of course, personality matters a lot. Where you could fall for someone just because you're like, hey, you know, like this person is very beautiful on the inside, you know. But like I said, personality takes time versus looks where it's instant. You know, like, hey, this person's very attractive, you know, physically, you know. So I think just depending on who you are, you should take a different approach, you know.
You hear that, guys? For the listeners out there, we have a whole full episode talking about attraction, looks, courting. You know, where again, it's cuffing seasons, um, and it's that time of the year again. I know some of the guys are struggling out there just to get a date or a number, or just getting rejected. Yeah, I got rejected. Yeah, Food's got rejected. All of us been rejected
Plenty of times.
plenty of times. What keeps you going, man?
um it's just like, man, what gives me the drive is just very simple. It's just me still being like, or any guy, I think anyone, it's just still being single, like just knowing that. And I'm not a guy that's believes in like a lot of like sappy romance stories and stuff, but I do believe that there's someone out there for everyone. Like, you know, whether you want to believe it or not, there is like someone out there loves you, someone out there wants to love you, you know. You just got to give them a chance, you just got to find them. And that's what drives me is like, hey, you know, like, um out of all these people, you know, someone's got to think I'm okay, you know. Someone's got to be like, you know, this little guy's not that bad, you know. But that is what drives me. Like you said, we've all been rejected many times, way more. We've been me myself, I've been rejected way more than I've been given the opportunity to actually get to know them, you know. One out of like 5 girls might reply back, one out of 10 girls might give you their number, you know. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just having a positive mindset, being like, hey, you know, it's okay, you know, it's not the end of the world. And especially when you approach girls the way that I approach them, where it's like you don't come off as too strong, then you don't give yourself a bad image, you know, where it's like these girls are going to be talking shit about you, or you don't creep them out to the point where they go and snitch you out to all their friends, you know, or you get blasted on Facebook, you know. As long as you have your reputation is not so bad where it's like this dude is going to play us hard, and then you have nothing to be afraid of, you know. Like, just keep going, man. Just keep going at it. Approach every girl you can, you know.
They say confident is key, right?
Yes.
Does it take practice?
Yeah, of course.
Of
Yeah,
course, yes. That's a yes
of
question.
course. I mean, I've seen guys that are like, I've seen nerdy guys, right? Really nerdy guys that have never talked to a girl before, and then they go and they talk to girls. You know, they're very confident, but they'll go and they'll talk to girls and they'll say all the wrong things. You know, and then I see them like 2 years later, still super nerdy dudes. You know, but then I go with them to talk to girls, and now they're just completely different guys. You know, like they know the right things to say. They know how to approach women now. You know, they know what's creepy. They know what can throw the girl off. And yes, so practice does make perfect. You need to practice. Just being confident alone is not enough, man. You can be confidently creepy. All right. So yeah, just practice, man. Practice. Read girls. See. Read what. Oh, this worked. Or this didn't work. Next time, don't try this. Try something different. So yeah, most definitely. You still need practice, no matter how confident you are.
Awesome. We are very, very appreciative of your time, Fu. Just one last shout out. Yeah, one last shout out to Hmong tinduh. Keep it up.
Thank you.
What an awesome crowd in there. And keep up the hustle. Keep the love in there.
If you haven't yet, go to Facebook and search Hmong tinduh and join the group. Lastly, let's thank our sponsors. And if you haven't visited our official website, check it out, www.hmongmantalk.com, or like and share us on Facebook, Hmong Man Talk. Lastly, let's thank our sponsors.
A life insurance consultant who also believes in building family values. She believes not only in investing in your future, but also investing in your present moment, creating time and memories with your family. If you have any insurance needs or any questions, please don't hesitate to call her at the link.
Also, a special thanks to DJ Peter for using his beats. You can check him out at YouTube.